We woke up in Juneau, Alaska at 8:10 a.m. on day 4 of our 10-day Alaska cruise aboard the Norwegian Joy. The ship was pulling into port, and the temperature on the balcony was a nice 49 degrees Fahrenheit. It had rained, and it looked like more rain was to come. We got ready and went to breakfast. The board said that Savor and Taste were empty, but both had lines. We waited for about 10 minutes before being seated and ate a simple breakfast. When we got back to our stateroom, we saw that our fellow cruisers had begun to depart the ship for the AJ dock. The shuttles to town were on the left, and the tour buses were on the right. Walking to town was also an option. And if you're curious, Uber rides were available. Here is the view of the Gold Belt Tram from our port side balcony. We had a 10:50 meeting time for our Mendenhall Glacier Lake Canoe shore excursion and made our way down to deck 4 and the gangway to depart the ship. Again, town shuttles on the left and tour buses on the right. We waited for about 15 minutes before boarding the bus and leaving the AJ dock for the dock shuttle stop to pick up a few more people. We then drove through the town and headed for Mendenhall Lake. The reddish building up ahead is the Red Dog Saloon. My wife and I have heard about the place but have not yet eaten there. The rain finally started letting up as we got to the lake. We were dropped off at this location and geared up under these red canopies. A final restroom break before heading down to the lake. Rubber boots and life jackets were provided. We were on the west side of the lake. Nugget Falls was on the east side, and the Mendenhall Glacier was on the north side. Nugget Falls and the Mendenhall Glacier. We all got into the canoe and started paddling. Sadly, I set my 360 camera to manual exposure by accident and overexposed the first half of our excursion. On our second or third rest stop, we had a nice view of Nugget Falls, but the Mendenhall Glacier was still behind the peninsula. A couple more rest stops got us in the vicinity of the glacier. The wind picked up and our guide felt that it was too dangerous to get any closer. It started raining and we headed to Nugget Falls against the wind. After what seemed like an eternity, we made it to the shore. That is when I noticed the manual exposure setting and changed it back to automatic. We checked out Nugget Falls, ate a snack, and paddled out back across the lake. For one last look at the Mendenhall Glacier. The weather was nice on the second half of the excursion. More paddling, final rest stop. Before the final push to shore. We dropped off our gear, and as we waited for the bus to return, I took more footage of the lake. I really like these shots with the sun shining on the mountaintop. We boarded the bus and headed back to downtown Juneau. The first drop-off option was at Marine Park, and that is where we got off, which was near what I believe is the Alaska steamship dock. Remember the tip we got from Z earlier in the cruise about delicious Filipino food in Juneau? Well, my wife spotted these food stalls near Marine and Ferry Ways. We headed for the one with the blue canopy because we recognized some of the cruise ship staff. The place was named Carillo's Caldo. My wife ordered the combo 3. Diniguan, barbecue sticks, and paipaitan. Barbecue meat was a winner. On our next visit, I'll order the combo 1. 2 barbecue sticks and rice just for me. After lunch, we headed on Marine Way to Franklin Street and popped into several shops along the way. Eventually making it to the Alaska Shirt Company store that my wife loves to shop in. Restrooms are located in the back right corner of the store. Across the street will be the Gold Belt Tram station. To the left of that, public restrooms. And to the far left, the AJ Dock shuttles. A closer look. The Gold Belt Tram station, public restrooms, and the AJ Dock shuttles. To the right, an information center and the popular Tracey's King Crab Shack. After shopping, we made our way to the AJ Dock shuttles and relaxed on a quick ride back to the AJ Dock. We tapped in our room cards at the security checkpoint, walked along the gangway back to the ship, tapped in our room cards to reboard the ship, x-rayed our bags and walked through the metal detector, and arrived back in our stateroom at 5:37 p.m. The temperature out on the balcony was a nice 51 degrees Fahrenheit. We relaxed, showered, and made our way to the Manhattan room for an 8:30 p.m. dinner. At 9:30 p.m., the ship pulled away from the dock and we said goodbye to Juneau. It was back to work in the casino for us. We thought it was impossible to hit a royal flush in a cruise ship casino. Until my wife hit a royal flush. But for me, even with 4 cards dealt, no such luck. The casino closed at 2 a.m. and we ate a late night snack at the local bar and grill. Back to our stateroom. And lights out just before 3 a.m. Tomorrow we would visit the Marjorie Glacier in Glacier Bay on day 5 of our 10-day Alaska cruise.